This is a big match for Fortunski. If he can beat Jayson here, he goes on to 6 points. Currently sits in 10th place with 5 points, along with Fortunski. Of course, Fortunski's got 1 game left. After Fortunski's played Jayson, they're going to play each other. The break doesn't look as guaranteed in this match so far. Jayson come up dry. Fortunski's just come up dry, and now he's going to have to push out. And where do you push to? This is what kind of slows the game down a little bit when off the break no one's making balls. There's obviously more clusters on the table. Jayson calls a push out. So Fortunski will have a little look. If he doesn't fancy it, he'll pass it back. I think he's going to pass it straight back, to be honest.
Next door, Alex Kazakis has potted the 1 and the 2 off the break. And he has a look at the 3. So that could be all over, 5-0. It's been a very short match.
Didn't mean to hit the 6 ball. But it's definitely helped his cause as the cue ball rolls up behind the 5 ball. He's trying to come in behind this 1 ball off the 2nd rail, stick the cue ball there, send the 1 up table. That was a fine effort. Great shot there from Fortunski. Jayson will just give these a little whack because there was no kick save. And he gave up ball in hand.
Start the clock, please.
Well, it really does look to be all over on the other table now. Kazakis actually hooked himself on the 6. Played a nice jump shot over the 8. Made the pot. And 3 balls away from completing victory. It'll be a very good night for him. He was already through anyway. But he's added 2 more wins to his total to carry forward. 2 very different wins. 5-4 in a dramatic match against Omar Al-Shaheen. And for all the world, it looks like it's going to finish 5-0 in this one. Kachi will finish with just 2 wins from 15, bottom of the table. All sorts of things have gone wrong for him this week. Missed the start of one of his matches. It was Dr. Rack. He'll have better days ahead, though. Alex Kazakis has got at least 2 more days here. He goes through to the next phase with 9 wins.
Yeah, so Kazakis is on 9 points. SVB, Albin Ocean have played all their matches. They're on 11 points, so he's just 2 points behind them 2 big hitters. Phil's currently sat on 12 points, but he's got 1 game left to extend it to 13. And this is where it's all going to get interesting, because the big boys, there's not a lot separating them. David Al-Qaedi's got 1 more game left. He's on 9 points, so if he can win that, he'll go to 10. The man at the table, Jayson Short, is on 10 points. This is his last game. If he wins this, he'll tie with Ocean and SVB.
Yeah, he'd be ahead of them on Rack's difference, so he'd go through in 2nd place, but doesn't make any actual difference. It's the number of wins, that's all you carry forward. Well, the rack's difference as well, I guess, but in terms of the actual positions, it's not really about that.
If he's dead straight, he might have to just pull the cue ball back a little bit and leave a thin 8. If he has got a little bit of angle, maybe he'll try and get on the side rail. He hasn't got much room for error though. You feel like the cue ball would need to go on the side rail, or nearly on the side rail.
Extension code.
So he calls his extension. 1 extension per rack, like all the pool tournaments. The problem is if he plays a stop shot, he can't pop the 8 ball. So because he's got to pull back, you're always scared of getting too much into it. And that's not bad, just got to focus on the pot now. Such a good potter of the ball, you always fancy him to knock these in, but it's not ideal. Went in so clean, didn't it? It didn't hit the rail and kind of wobble and fall in, it just went straight in.
So the first 2 racks both won against the break, and that's how we've arrived at 1-all. And while Desislava Bozhelova racks them up again, we'll have a look at what's coming up this year. Derby City Classic, we've already had that. That's one of the events that counts towards the new world ranking system. This one doesn't because it's an elite event, as it were. There's a Euro Tour event coming up next week, and then the World Championship in early April. And there you see some of the new events we've got: the UK Open, the European Open, various other selected events from around the world, all integrated into this new ranking system. And where you are in those standings determines what events you get into in terms of some of the standout elite tournaments like this, the World Masters, and most of all, if you're European or American, the Mosconi Cup. The world ranking system is now the determining factor for the automatic places on the teams. A whole new era for 9-ball pool.
Jayson shot break, 1 rack each.
And this man is going to be very much a part of it. One of the best in the world, Jayson Shaw, level at 1-all. Now, so many of these matches this evening form an interlocking narrative. And that battle that's coming down to a finish now to get through to the next phase. And while Mieszko Fortunski battles away for his place on this table, Olusius Yap is just starting out over on table 2. He's playing Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, who is through. It's Yap's last match. He's got 5 wins. He's got to win that one to give himself any hope at all.
Well, Jayson's come with 2 beauties to start this rack. Kicks the 1 ball in and then fires the long 2. Now these balls are set up really nice. Just going to pop this green 6 and bring the cue ball over to the left side of the table to shoot the 7 in the top right.
You know, you can watch a Jayson Shaw match and not remember much about it because if he's playing well, it just goes by in the blink of an eye. So fluent, so natural, such an instinctive player. Just as I build him up, Carl, he goes and misses a very unexpected 8.
Yeah, that's really surprising, that. As he scratches his head in disbelief. could have left an easier shot for Fortunski, but he does have a shot. This is cuttable. And I'm sure Mieszko wasn't expecting to get back to the table, so I suppose he's got to be quite happy. Could maybe play the bank, but I can't really see him doing that. It depends where the point of the middle is. He's actually playing the bank. He's going to draw the cue ball back. So Jayson kind of got away with that, but he did leave Fortunski a bank shot. So second chance for short.
You could never have fancied he was going to let Fortunski off the hook a second time. And Jayson Shaw leads Mieszko Fortunski 2-1. More in a moment. It's all come down to the last night in Mieszko Fortunski's quest to get through to phase 2 of the Predator Premier League. He's got 2 matches to go. This is the first of them. And he's 2-1 down against Jayson Shaw as he breaks.
That's a better split. And he's got a real easy opening shot on the 2. Looks like he can draw the cue ball back to play the pink 4 in the bottom left.
News from the other table, Aloysius Yap 1-0 up on Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. Yap, remember, in that battle to get through. We now know 4 of the 6 players who are out. 2 more will be eliminated over the next couple of hours.
Just slightly overdone the cue ball there.
Extension code.
So he's just come round. Might play the cue ball. He could spin it round the angles. Oh, well, that's gone wrong, but it's gone right. That is unbelievable. Double kiss the 8.
Yeah, they just spring back up the table.
Amazing, that.
Neither player has run out from the break yet in this match.
Fortunski's he's a nice player, but having watched him for a few days, he tends to play the odd strange shot. It kind of just comes from nowhere.
I don't know what you think. He looks to me sometimes like he is overthinking things a bit and perhaps just a bit too intense. Needs to try to find a way of playing a bit more instinctively.
Yeah, I mean, there's no denying he's a talent, that's for sure. So with the help of a little bit of lady luck, this 9-ball to tie the match back up.
10 seconds.
First break and run of the match. Fortunski level again at 2-all. Now over on the other table, well, Lucius Yap off to a promising start here. Told you he's won the opener against the already qualified Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. And this is a nice looking table in the second rack.
Yeah, the previous shot to this one, he kicked a 2-ball in and went round the angles. Absolutely perfect. It was a great shot. Another great shot there. He wants it to slow down because he wants an angle on the 5, and well, that looks absolutely inch perfect.
Got into such a rut earlier in the group. Shoulders were slumped. He lost 5 matches in a row. But he's come back strongly, winning 4 of his last 6. Defeating Oliver Szolnocki in a hill finish midway through Wednesday's campaign. Proved to be quite a turning point.
Rack 5.
Followed it by beating Shane Van Boning 5-0. He's just done enough to keep clinging on to a hope of getting through. Although, just after we turned away our focus, Yap has missed a very routine 6 when he looked to be on the brink of going 2-0 up.
Jayson can't get through to the potting angle. Cross bank might be difficult. Only because the cue ball might go in the way. He might have to play it a high ball, and then he might be okay. He's undecided. I think he'll end up taking his extension as well.
Extension code.
Yeah, he's gone for that cross bank, and the cue ball's got in its way. It was going to go the 1-ball and all.
10 seconds.
It's a tricky little shot, this, because he's bridging over the 7 and the 4. pot is quite thin, and he's got to get on the red 3. He's going to try and spin it in. He's digging down. A bit of left English. He's hit it too fat. And he's just flicked the 3, so he's left the pot for Jay.
Lucius Yap has had a bit of a let off on the other table after his miss on the 6. He's got back in with another chance, and he's got a routine 9 from close range, so that's going to be 2-0. Has to win that match, Yap.
Can he get through to the potting angle? If he can't, he might try and kill the cue ball where the pink 4 is and send the 4 around the table. Well, he can. He's come and had a look.
10 seconds.
This is very thin. Could see, couldn't he? Just glanced the rail. They've been known to fall over the years, them ones, but we've seen a lot of them stay up. And rightly so, they should never be going in.
So a big couple of minutes potentially ahead here from Mieszko Fortunski. He was 2-1 down. He can go 3-2 in front here, and he'll have the break in the next rack.
Yeah, Jayson Shaw's not took his foot off the pedal. He knows he wants to get this point because this will tie him up with SVB and Auschen. They'll all finish on 11 points. If he goes on to lose this match, he'll be one behind them too.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, where you stand in relation to the other players. So I've said if he wins it, he can go through in second place. There's going to be so little to choose between them going into phase 2.
Oh, this is a beautiful shot. Great shot there from Mieszko.
Things are looking up for him. Ran out from the break in the previous rack to draw level. Now he's gone in front. Mieszko Fortunski leads Jayson Shaw 3-2. Already well into the next rack. Rack 3 over on the next table. And Lucius Yap is really going along very nicely here. Should be 3-0. And of course, we've talked about the racks difference. That could be the deciding factor in terms of that last place. The last couple of places, maybe, in the next phase. So 3-0 clearly raises the prospect of a comfortable win. And that could do his prospects no end of good.
That didn't go in too clean. That's why the cue ball has not gone as far as he would have liked up the table.
Yeah, and just remember, this is a player who won 1 of his first 8 matches. It was looking like a hopeless cause.
Nicely done to get on the 9 ball.
Impressive stuff. He's still battling away, and he leads 3-0.
Rock 6. Mieszko Fortunski to break.
Huge shot this for Fortunski. Really needs to press home the advantage he's got now. Can take a big step into the next phase.
Yeah, that was a fine break.
And if he can get through to the 3, it's a fine result. One down, 2 down. Oh, it's touch and go, Carl. What do you think?
Yeah, my instinct says he can't. Not the potted angle anyway. You can clearly see the right-hand side of it, which might not be the end of the world. He can play a cross bank safe, get a good cue ball. The only danger with that is he's got to be careful where the 3 finishes, because he's going to be flirting with that 9 ball. And he doesn't want to leave Jayson a combo or a billiard.
Well, wasn't too far away from pulling off an unlikely combination of his own. Now, how much of this 3 can Shaw get through to?
Yeah, Jayson might just have to put a little bit of swerve on it. There you see. It's actually more swerve than it looked. So Fortunski dodged a little bullet there, and he's got these 6 balls to get himself on the hill on what is a massive, massive match for him and a massive point against one of the best. Needs to stay away from the side pocket, which he has done. That's fine.
Hard to see anything going wrong from here.
Yeah, as long as he pots this 7, he should fall nicely on the 8 in the right centre. Job well done.
Yeah, the simplest of finishes here with the 8 and the 9. Needed a big performance here. And he's producing very nicely at the moment. Mieszko Fortunski, chasing a crucial win, is on the hill at 4-2. you find yourself in the sort of situation Mieszko Fortunski does at this stage, you've just got to do all you can and hope other things fall your way. And that's what he's doing at the moment. He's leading Jayson Shaw 4-2. But not a bad break from Shaw.
So let's have a look at the options. He's got a possible bank shot. And it looks like he's having a go. Don't blame him. Very good at banking the ball is Jayson. He's no shot on the 2 though. Might try and stun the cue ball down in behind the green 6. Off 2 rails. That's what he's tried. Just needs to miss the 6. But he's also played a decent 2 ball. Fortunski might have a go at the jump shot here. Or he could play it off the top rail into the 2 full. But he's got the short stick. He's going airborne.
10 seconds. Extension code.
I mean, in this situation, you always expect these top players to hit the 2. So because they're going to hit the 2, you always feel like they're going to go close to potting this ball.
Well, it almost went in on the double kiss.
Yeah, just watch this. If it had fluked it like that, that would have been incredible. But Jayson has got a pot here, Michael.
The balls were dancing around like jumping beans.
Extension code.
A lot of action there, but not the result he wanted.
No, he's only got a point to the top right, but that is really hard. Whenever the cue ball is close to the object ball, he's gone for it.
Nicely recovered. Back in position now.
Yeah, the 4 ball went straight in the heart of the pocket. Didn't even graze the knuckle. Certain Szolnoki's practicing and watching the TV closely at this match. Desperate for the Shaw fight back.
And he may just have seen the start of it. Jayson Shaw closes to 4-3 down. Mieszko Fortunski still needs 1 more, and he's only got 1 more breaking rack. That's coming up in just a moment. But what a story here. Lucius Jaap really needed to produce the goods, and he has. So far, 4-0 now against Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. Great credit to him for battling. We know the bottom 4 now are out of the picture. Now, if Jaap can complete a 5-0 win, he goes on to 6 wins, and he'd improve his racks difference massively to -6, and you can see there the difference that could potentially make when compared to the other players around him. So it's looking increasingly likely that we're going to have a very tense finale to this first phase when Fortunski and Oliver Szolnoki play each other in the last match on table 1. I think it's fair to say, Carl, this next shot is Mieszko Fortunski's biggest of the week so far.
Yeah, all he can do is hit a good solid break and hope he gets a chance to win this point. And he has done a good solid break. He's parked the cue ball in the middle. The 6th ball has come to spoil the party. So, where do you push to here?
Extension code.
Shows you the difficulty of the push out because he's had to use his extension. And he's still not made his mind up. And I can understand why. Could roll it actually onto the bottom rail. Past the 9 ball. You would leave a pot, but it would be straight or just off straight, which wouldn't be easy to get on the 2 ball. Rolling over to the right.
A look in next door is Aloysius Yap eyeing up a spectacular finish to a spectacular performance. Could we see him round out a 5-0 win with a 4-9 combination? We absolutely could. Aloysius Yap has really stepped up here. He knew he needed to deliver the goods in that match, and he has. And that's such an impressive result in itself, whatever it might mean in terms of him getting through. Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz has been in such good form over the last few days after a poor start, and Yap has beaten him 5-0. So he finishes on 6 wins, and perhaps crucially, he's improved his racks difference to -6. Time to sit and wait.
Cue ball just come down the table. Looked like it was going to hit the 7.5 ball, but it kept going. It just snuck past it. Jayson, he's very good with his short stick, but he's going to need a good one. It's dead straight. He's going to have to get the cue ball lifting quick because it's fairly close to the 7. And he needs the cue ball to stop right where the 1 ball is. Needs a little bit of luck.
Yeah, needed a lot of luck, and he hasn't had it. So here it is. This is Fortunski's chance.
Now there is a little bit of an angle, so after he's potted this, the cue ball's going to float over to the left a little bit. He'd like to get this cue ball stopping as soon as possible because the 2's on the right-hand side rail. He's lost the cue ball too much. Didn't kill it enough. Now I think he's got awkward cueing to pop this 2 ball. We knew there were going to be drama, didn't we, Michael? It was never going to come easy.
Well, especially where Fortunski's concerned. We all still remember his epic quest in the Championship League, which this tournament has grown out of. When we were here for that almost a year ago, he played 40 matches trying to get into the winners group. Been so many twists along the way. You might feel like he's had 40 this week. This is actually only his 14th. Still more drama to come.
Jayson could just chip the 2 ball onto the back rail.
10 seconds.
Oh, he could see enough of it, so he's gone for the bank. That's very attacking. Didn't think he could see the bottom side. And he's got away with it. Fortunski might be tempted into a similar shot. But the safety shot, he's begging. Absolutely begging. So is Fortunski attacking like Jayson did? Or is he playing Mr. Sensible? Yeah, he's playing the shot Jayson should have played. Such a big target, and he's delivered. So Fortunski should have been in this position, but Jayson decided to go out all attack. Each to their own, of course. Got to be careful of the scratch here. If you go too close to the 2 ball off that short second rail, cue ball often squirts along the rail and goes in the pocket. I think Fortunski needs to go and get the jump cue, because Jayson's had a nice little roll there. Never comes easy. Fortunski's just desperate for an easy shot. Run the balls out, shake Jayson's hand and collect the point. Well, I like this shot. A lot of people would have attacked the pot. Fortunski was having none of it. Beautiful jump shot, really was. Same again here, if he can just go below the 5, he's got to be careful, because the second rail, you can scratch in the bottom right corner.
10 seconds.
Might have to play this hard and all. Yeah, he does have to play it hard. Well, you could see the cue ball, it went very close to that corner.
Yeah, you called the possibility of the scratch, but look at the result he's had.
Can be a mad game at times. They do say to be a pool player, you've got to have a little bit of madness about you. But Fortunski's played matches this week where he's had these little bit of things go his way. Everybody does, it's just when it happens. And they do say it's never a lucky shot until you've played your shot. Where does this finish? So after a few wild swipes from the boys, Jayson's going to get a chance to tie the match up, to bring us more drama. Tricky shot coming up though. 4-ball only goes in the right centre, but you can't really get on it. He might risk going into the 9. Oh, is there a combo on? Is there something I've not spotted? It's late in the day. It's day 5. Yeah, there's an offset combo. So even if the 9-ball's going towards the bottom rail, he can make this. Oh, he's missed it. He has missed it. That is unbelievable. I actually think he's hit the wrong side of the 4-ball. Maybe there was more gap than first thought. So Fortunski, this is not the easiest of shots. Well, it's not easy at all.
10 seconds.
He needs that 4-ball to sit on the 5. Jayson might have a bank now. We do love this about 9-ball. Fortunski's desperate for the rack. Jayson wants to tie the match up for Hill. He's made the bank shot, looking like a last rack shootout.
Yeah, they weren't easy, but Fortunski had at least 2 chances to win the match there.
Not Jayson's greatest positional shot.
And that wasn't his greatest attempt at a pot. So much has happened in this rack. I said Fortunski has had 2 chances at least to win the match here. He's got another one now.
Yeah, I can't quite believe what I'm seeing. Jayson looks very despondent in the corner. Needs the cue ball to bounce. Well, he'd like that a little bit higher. Just got to pop the 7 here. Leave the cue ball anywhere in the middle of the table. Jayson's just flung his glove across the arena there. Oh, this looks good. Speed looks good. Fortunski's going to steal this rack. This rack had a lot of drama.
Well, can you believe Jayson Shaw, one of the best potters we've ever seen? Some of the balls he's missed. But Mieszko Fortunski, he's missed a few as well, but he's got the job done. He's done all he can do for now, beating Jayson Shaw 5-3.